How are we all doing, guys? I hope you're well. Basically, this video is going to be a bit of a mix and match one. I've just got back and I've seen that Sorare NBA have announced their in-season tournament sort of schedule and pricing and what they're going to do about it. I've not read the blog and I thought, you know what? Let's read the blog, make a video for it, go through it live, and also I'll show you the game week 2 lineups that I've got. They're not massively different from game week 1. Obviously, the cap's not shifted massively, but I thought I'll combine the two and try and get it out just before the lock for it. I'm also going to give away the giveaway. I'm also going to run the giveaway for the card of the Cam Johnson that we were running here on the Swingman podcast channel to a subscriber who retweeted the tweet in the description down below. I'll do that towards the end of the video, so stay tuned and you might win. Before we jump into the rest of this video though, nearly 80% of you are not subscribed to us here at the Swingman podcast. Now, if you love the NBA and you want to stay in depth with everything this season, and also the Sorare NBA stuff we're going to be doing, and trust me, you're going to want to stay involved with it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out more than you could possibly imagine. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so genuinely, I haven't read this. I'm going to be reading it in the same sort of time frame as you are here. This is going to be my initial reaction to it. Now, I know that they were planning on doing something within the sort of Sorare NBA in-season tournament that they were going to do, and Sorare themselves were going to do it. And off the bat, compete for $100,000 in cash and signed merch. So if we scroll on through, it's time for a new era of basketball as we introduce Sorare NBA in-season tournament. One of the only fantasy competitions, I should say, based on the NBA's all-new tournament, Sorare's long format competitions during a group play stage. Okay, so this is a positive. Like the long stage sort of format, I think works well in football. The Cap 271 that they've currently got going on with no weekly rewards is kind of interesting. I'm playing that at the moment and we'll see how that goes. But offers elevated rewards, including a total of $100,000 in cash prizes across competitions. Here's what you need to know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, game week schedule. So this is going to run from game week 4 and game week 6 and 11. So I think the in-season tournament is using regular season games in any case. We'll soon share details on the knockout round stage below, which will feature additional pricing. See group pricing below. Okay. Our in-season tournament will consist of 3 new competitions, all contributing to cumulative leaderboards: beginner, advanced, and expert. Beginner, common cards only. Okay, so they are still looking after the free-to-play players that are there, and it's the kind of core that they sort of need to look after as well. You need to have everyone engaged in the format. Cap 140 and an MVP. The advanced scarcity, mix of rare and or limited cards. 3 of the cards must be 23-24. People are going to get a little bit antsy about that, but you've got to understand that if they're going to bump up rewards and do increased stuff, they're going to kind of need people to be rebuying cards. The whole summer long, everyone that sort of I've seen that makes content on Sorare and the Sorare NBA side in particular was saying, I don't have a reason to buy any new cards. $100,000 gives you that reason. I think this is a beneficial thing. It's just the long sort of play you've kind of got to see in this one. You might be thinking, oh, now I've got to go out and buy more cards. But it's part and parcel of the game here. You give and you take. That's how it works. 3 of the cards must be 2023-24, and the cap is 140 in MVP. And the expert is a mix of super and or uniques. 2 of the cards must be 23-24. Again, on that sense, it's a little bit harder to swallow because the super rares are going to be really expensive, especially since they did the 1 of 10 update. But this is what we asked for. We wanted the scarcities to be lower. So again, there's going to be some initial, I can sense it's going to happen, but I think the guys that are paying for the bigger cards in Super and Unique will probably be quite excited that, again, there's more areas to play them and there's better rewards. And that's what everyone wants. If we scroll on down, I should say, in every competition, whether you're in beginner, advanced, or expert, we have a few rules that remain the same. During group play, games will be played on Tuesdays and Fridays from November the 3rd to the 28th. Sorare's in-season tournament include 1 day of games per week, and other regular season games will not account. Okay, so that's interesting. Your top 5 scores out of the competition's 7 game weeks will be cumulatively determining your final competition ranking. I like this. This is what they're currently doing on Cap 270 in football. It basically means that you don't need to be unbelievable for 7 straight game weeks because that's going to be really difficult. It allows you to not have the sort of like Pavel Trader gallery that can still do well and compete and potentially win. Scoring will remain consistent, including scarcity bonuses. That's fine. That gives you the advantage of mixing the limited and the rare mode and the super and the unique modes. Sorare's permanent twice weekly competitions will continue as normal and will include all games within the game week, including those in the in-season tournament. So if it isn't for you and you don't think you have the gallery to compete, you can arc it back and you can play in the regular season one now that cards have been taken out of it. So there's going to be some Lucas, some Jokic's that would have been there that are no longer in these regular competitions, making it a little bit easier to win. a win-win for everyone again. Rewards. Prizes will be rewarded at the end of group stage game week 11 based on the manager's cumulative scores. Here are the rewards. Beginner. Exclusive access to the NBA Rivals closed beta. I think that this is going to be a really... I've heard sort of what it's meant to be kind of like from like other bits and bobs floating around the community. I think it'd be a really good thing to play with your friends when you're watching games together. I think as a social aspect, if you play Sorare on your own, there might be a way in which you can sort of start to play against people within your bracket or within a community that you'd know of. Hopefully, it'd be great if we can get something sorted in a Swingman Sorare Society League. But I think for friends, when you're playing it one-on-one with someone and you're watching the Knicks-Boston game like last night, you had Jalen Brunson and versus Drew Holiday, for example. Like that, they're the sort of things I think it's going to be really interesting with. On the advanced side, rewards include $60,000 in total cash prizes, plus signed Sorare ambassador merch from Brunson, Mitchell, Bridges, and Banchero. Again, so cash prizes, which is what everyone screamed for into the off-season, they've been bumped. And again, I know people were a little bit unhappy with the rare champion ones. They did look a little tight, but I want to see... I'm going to look and I'm going to sort of take a look at how Sorare NBA goes within the next sort of 8 weeks. You need to give it time, and then you can assess if it's working or not. But 60 grand in total cash prizes for the advanced side, which is just limited and rare galleries like myself, is pretty good. I can't complain at that. We'll see how it's split. But again, it's going to be good money. And then there's those sort of money can't buy prizes with the ambassador merch that's coming. And then on expert, on the super rare and the unique side, $40,000. But obviously there'll be far less people playing in that. So in theory, it should be a little bit easier to win. No Sorare player cards will be rewarded as part of our in-season tournament. Again, this will be people are, oh, why are they not giving cards away? It's because they reduced the scarcity count. That's why the rewards were reduced. There are going to have to be things that come with it. Road to the tournament finals. We're excited to have a new NBA tournament to watch until it's offer a new competition for it. Stay tuned as we get closer to the launch on Friday, November the 3rd. Now, I think that was pretty damn positive. I've not read anything on the sort of comments from people on Twitter. Do you know, actually, let me have a quick scroll of that now. As we go on through, I probably just got a little bit dimmer as the light has gone out from that lovely white page. Let me move that back over there. If we scroll on through for them, so this was some of the thread for it. Do XP bonuses apply? So yeah, like, look, you're gonna need 2023 cards. It's even in the football side when they're giving away like 70 signed Premier League jerseys or 70 jerseys and 20 assigned. There has to be some incentive to get people to buy cards and existing users and new ones. It's kind of common, not like it's common logic with it. Yeah, there's going to be some great work. Okay, so it looks as if it's a pretty positive update, and that doesn't surprise me at all because it looked very good. You're going to get people that moan, and that's just it, but it looked pretty damn positive to me. Now, let's have a quick look at my lineups. I threw these together. They aren't that different from before. Let me go to play. Let me share this one. Okay. So, pickup mode, as always, I'll give this card away if I win it. I've got a Luka Doncic, I have a Kawhi Leonard, Drew Holiday, a Marvin Bagley, and a Peyton Pritchard, which I used on one of my free card swaps. He's getting minutes in the rotation, 5 L10, you never know. I could throw Jaden Springer in there as well, but he looks all right. I just feel a bit more confident in Peyton Pritchard maybe getting 15 than Springer. I don't think Springer's going to get... He did get quite a lot of time, but I'll see. I might change that one. This is all going to be one take. It's going to be completely different from beforehand. We'll scroll on through to Limited Champ. My Luka Doncic is here. This week I've got Paul George, 2 games, 43 L10. Joel Embiid at 42 again. He's back. And that meant that I am not selling my Jordan Poole like some have. I'm going to be running it back with him for one more week against the Grizzlies because he didn't really do anything of note. 26, his cap's not going to move potentially too much. And then Kevin Love, because surprisingly he started and got decent minutes and scored very well with 2 games, an L10 of 14. I don't expect him to play both. I think he'll rest in one of them. I hope it's the Boston game and he plays against the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves looked kind of shaky. But yeah, that's my limited champion lineup. Hopefully something comes of that. Luka did really well. I need Embiid to step it up. Limited contender then, Nikola Vucevic after the Chicago Bulls' massive crisis meeting after it. I think they're going to do a little bit better against the Raptors and the Pistons. They've got good centers on both of those teams, but I fancy Vucevic to do kind of well there, and he has a 5% bonus. Aaron Gordon was exceedingly well in the Lakers game, and an L10 of 27 against Grizzly and OKC. I'll take that all day. Dylan Brooks at 21. easy no-brainer pick for me when he's got 2 games here. And I kind of fancy something in that Golden State game, you know. I don't know why. D'Anthony Melton exceeding minutes because of James Harden and played kind of well for the Sixers, I would say, the other night. The Sixers surprised me at how... I know they lost, but they surprised me in the sense of that I thought they were going to get battered, and they didn't. So I'm fine with him. And Georges Niang, L10 of 5, allows me to have the sort of higher-ish lineup guy, these L10 guys in this lineup. Like I said, L10 of 5, he's on the Cavs. I'm expecting him to get a little bit more time potentially in these 2 here. Hopefully against Indiana, but we shall see. We'll quickly move on to Underdog. I wish I could just show you, if anyone from Sorare is watching this, of any of the guys that have reached out to me before, is there a way in which, like football, we can have it so it's like not downwards like this? I've just spoiled the rare ones, but not downwards. It's just on a page. Because when you set a lineup, it comes up in lovely. Anyway, limited Underdog. We've got Robert Williams in here, L10 of 18, obviously at the Blazers now. Should be doing pretty well for that for me. Ben Simmons, L10 of 16. I did think about putting him in a more priority lineup, but I quite liked that I could have... I think these 2 can score really well, and so can PJ Tucker on his day. Jaden Springer, like I've mentioned, I think will get decent minutes, and then it's all on Sam Hauser. And you know So Rare NBA's back when we're talking about Sam Hauser. So when you get these guys at the bottom of it, Sam Hauser is a born and bred limited Underdog sort of pick for us here. But we'll throw that lineup together for it. There's potential there. Ben Simmons should outperform Matt Cap by about 15, I think. I think he should be dropping about 25 to 30 points. So Rare terms for again the game against Dallas. Now we'll move on to the rare side. We'll jump on rare champion first. The big dog lineup. I've took Booker out because I think he's out for like 2 or 3 games against the Jazz. But I'm kind of fine with that because I'm happy to roll with Dame time, especially against the Hawks. I think he'll have his way against Trae Young because Trae Young don't play no defense. So I'm expecting at least a 35-pointer with a couple of assists and rebounds and maybe a defensive action in there. There are better MVPs out there, but like I said, this is the rare side of things. Jaren Jackson Jr., 2 games, Denver and Washington. The Washington game, I'm expecting him to have his way, so I'm hoping he doesn't sort of rest or anything like that. I don't think he will. Bam Adebayo next, 33 L10. Not the best of fixtures for him. Boston and Minnesota both on the road. I did consider throwing in Andrew Wiggins, but there's something about the Warriors at the minute, and it's not just because of one game. I'm not being reactionary in that regard. I'm not sure with the Chris Paul factor where Wiggs fits in. I don't like Clay being moved to the 3 in that aspect for it. I know he's done it before, but I don't like that sort of dynamic, shall we say. So I'll go with Bam Adebayo for the time being. I could throw Jaden Ivey in there, but I don't want to pick anyone from the Pistons for obvious reasons. Aaron Gordon up next. Like I've said before and mentioned, I could throw Jeremy Sohan in here. I'd really like the matchup against the Rockets that he's going to have. I think he'll have his way with Jeremy Sohan, with Jabari Smith Jr., I should say. But he was lined up at point guard apparently on the box score, although point guard. And then I'm going to play Jordan Poole. Now, there's a lot of argument to be said of if I should just sell the Jordan Poole and take the sort of inflated price that he's at. But I think he's going to be more, especially because I don't have a Wemby or anything like that at the moment to really sort of bolster this. But I think his L10's not going to go up too much, and they have a double game week coming up, and that's where I want him when L10s of those guys are back. So I'm going to hold on to him for the time being and ride it out. The other lineups to quickly show you, rare contender, because I have Sam Hauser playing in here, I'm hoping he gets some form of minutes. I can throw Malcolm Brogdon in there, 2 games, L10 of 16, no-brainer pick. Gary Trent Jr. again, 2 games. L10 of 21 is a little bit on the medium side for him, but if he finds his form of last year, Gary Trent Jr.'s got 30s in his lockers. DeAndre Ayton, some dominating that we're going to be hoping for. He had 26, he didn't really do much, but I think against the Magic, he can have a little bit of fun against Wendell Carter Jr., hopefully. And I can get Jimmy Butler in a rare contender, so I'm absolutely going to do that. I think he'll have big energy against the Boston game for it. And then last but not least, I'll show you rare underdog, although I don't expect much from it. Ish Smith, I don't think he's going to get any game time, but he was the only person I could get. That basically meant I could throw Bruce Brown, McGee, Yuda, and Javon Carter in there because I can't play Jared Vanderbilt because he's injured. And I think that's it.
A few moments later.
And before I go, like I said, I'm going to do the giveaway for the Cam Johnson that we had over on the Swingman Podcast Twitter account. There'll be links in the description to follow it. We're going to be doing giveaways all season long, so get over there, follow us, follow me as well personally. The stipulations were simple. You have to be a subscriber to our YouTube channel over here as well, so hit that sub button. You have to follow myself and the Swingman Podcast Twitter account, and we're going to draw it live. Hopefully it works because I'm doing it live, so it would be classic if it doesn't. And the winner is Soaksy 5, Toxie 5. So I'll shoot me a DM. I'm going to tweet this out anyway after I filmed this and put it up. But yes, enjoy the Cam Johnson. It will help you in the new in-season tournament modes, which you need 23, 24 cards. And that is going to do it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will hopefully be a little bit more edited and better and calmer. Peace.